Hey guys, I'm Marissa and welcome back to my channel. Here on my channel we talk about life and money and most importantly, budgeting. I'm a huge fan of budgeting. We make a new budget for our household every single month. So today I'm going to be walking you through our September 2020 budget. I cannot believe that we're already in September. I feel like I was just sitting down to do my March budget, not knowing what the rest of the world would entail, and now here we are. So before we get into this budget, I wanted to let you guys know if you want to get the budget template that I will be using today, you can check it out as an instant Excel download from my shop. I will have it linked down in the description box down below, so you can check it out there if you want to pick it up. If you've been following along for the last few months, then you know that we actually recently had a baby. His name is Peter. He's quite adorable. We had a baby in May. And so we had some months where I was getting paid from like my vacation and sick time payout from my employer. And then I also had some time where I was not getting paid because my sick and vacation time ran out. And now I'm actually back to work. So my maternity leave has ended. I went back to work a whole 10 hours a week, so very minimally. And so I am now getting paid again from my employer. Anticipate to bring home a paycheck in the month of September. And while I do make money from my employer, I actually make more money like here on YouTube and doing everything from business online. So that's why I am going back to work very minimally because I'm spending a lot more time on YouTube and being home with my son Peter. So just wanted to preface that with our income situation, but that's why this month is going to be a little bit different from August because we have some additional income coming in. But I do have Jacob's income, my income, and my business income all blocked out just individually for privacy. So the grand total though for our household income, which we just put all of our money together and we budget off of our money. So our total household income is $6,930 this month. So now to show you where we decided to allocate all of this for the month. We use a zero-based budget, which means that every dollar gets a name. So all of our income should equal all of our expenses and savings. So the first line that we have here is our tithe. We give to our church and we are Christians, and so we are giving 10%, which is $693 to our church. Then we support 2 kids with African New Life, and that is $78 a month. Then we support another missions organization for $40 a month. Next we have is our mortgage, and this is $2398.60, and this is standard what it's been every month. And we've actually now been homeowners for a year in September, which is crazy. And this is actually now 34.61% of our take-home pay. I do pay myself a salary out of my business, and every quarter I like to reevaluate that. So in the month of October, I'm actually going to be increasing that, which is really exciting. So this number should go down, but yeah, I don't love having it be at 34%. I'd rather it be more at like 30% of our take-home pay. But this is after taxes, insurance, 401k contributions, all of that. So 34%. Next we have is our HOA. So we live in a neighborhood that has a homeowners association, so we have to pay $121.46 each month. Then we have water and sewer, and this has roughly been about $90 a month. Then we have natural gas. So we are budgeting $20 this month for natural gas. We use natural gas for the heat in our house as well as for any sort of cooking. And we haven't had to use heat obviously because it's the middle of summer. So our natural gas bill for the last couple months has been pretty low. Our trash is paid every other month. So this is one of those months that we don't have to pay for trash. And then we have electric. I'm putting that up at 75, and this is a bit higher for us. We have air conditioning, we have central air, which is nice, but we also live in a more mild climate. We live in Portland, Oregon, so we don't have to use the AC like all the time, but definitely like for the month of August and stuff, we'll be using it. So I have that increase a little bit. We also are able to save a lot on electricity because we have high efficient bulbs in every single part of our house. We only use like high efficient bulbs. So $75 is what we're planning. Then we have internet at $49.95 like usual, and then phones to be $117.33. This is my cell phone and my husband Jacob's phone. Next we have is insurance. This is car insurance that we have through USAA, and that should be about $128.58. We actually recently purchased a new car, so we're trying to figure out what that's going to look like every month for insurance, but it should be right around this amount. We also, since the pandemic, have received like some money back from insurance because I'm sure that your insurance was doing this too. They were offering like a rebate because people weren't driving as much, and we still aren't driving either. Next we have is life insurance at $52.89, and this is for 2 term life insurance policies, one for myself and one for my husband, and together that is $52.89, so pretty affordable. Next we have is groceries. We plan to spend $300 a month on groceries, and we've been sticking like right around there. Then we have eating out at $100. Because of the pandemic, we haven't eaten out since the first week of March, and we aren't planning to go to any restaurants or anything like that. We just don't feel comfortable with that yet, but we do take out and everything like that. So we'll do like curbside pickup and stuff. So allocating $100 for not cooking at home, I guess is what you have to say. Next we have is gas, and we're putting $40 a month to gas, and this is just one fill up for one car, because we don't drive anywhere. Before, I was looking at our February budget right before I started filming this, and we were filling up each car at least twice a month. So we were doing 4 fill-ups. We were spending over $150, between like $150 and $180 a month on gas. So it is pretty nice that it's now down to $40 a month. My husband, Jacob, he's been working from home since March as well, and his office actually just told him that they are not coming back at all until like the first of the year. The soonest it would be the first of the year. So he is working from home through December at least, which is crazy. I've also been working from home though, even though I'm back at like work 10 hours a week and everything. It's all still remote and on my own time, which is really nice. So we don't really leave to go anywhere. And we also have a newborn. So pandemic newborn life, you know, we don't go anywhere. Next we have is college. So we did open up a 529 savings plan through our state of Oregon for our son Peter to start saving for his college. So we are putting $200 a month into that fund. And next we have is miscellaneous, and that is just anything else that comes up in our budget that we weren't initially anticipating will go to miscellaneous. It's very important to have a miscellaneous category because there's always something random that comes up, and it's nice to just have a place for it instead of it like busting the rest of your budget. So the grand total of all of these regular expenses is $4604.81. So now to show you where we are planning to save money, this is my favorite part of our budget because these are like the financial goals, the big things that we're working on, and also like the fun things too. So I do have the beginning and ending balances blocked out just because I haven't showed you our August budget report yet. So once that comes out, then I will show you those balances. But we first have our emergency fund, and I will say that is fully funded. We're done with that. So we have over $25,000 in an emergency fund. And the way that our funds work, this is probably the most asked question that I get. We keep our emergency fund with Ally Bank in like a high yield savings account, which high yield now is 0.8% with Ally Bank, which is not the best, but better than like your regular bank. So we have that in there, and we just keep our emergency fund there. And then we have all of these other sinking funds and things that we're saving for. And I just keep the total lump sum of all of these funds and keep them in one savings account with our regular bank. And I just track the balances with my spreadsheet here. So I know that a lot of people will open up a savings account for each thing that they're working on saving for, which is totally great if that's how you operate. But for me personally, I just like to keep it all together in a lump sum and then just use my spreadsheet to know how much is in each. So the next line item that we have is Jacob. Jacob gets $100 of personal spending money each month. But basically, we like to be in really good communication about anything that we're spending on for our household. So we're always talking about things that we're going to purchase, or like we always run that by one another. But Jacob gets $100 of personal spending money. He can do whatever he wants with. Like, that's no questions asked. He does whatever he wants. And then I also get $100. I will say because of the pandemic, I have spent like none of my money, and I have a lot of money saved up. So I gotta buy something nice. I also just really want to go to Disneyland. I would love to just use this to go to Disneyland, but you know, who knows when that'll be. Okay, the next thing that we have is extra giving. We're putting $50 this month into extra giving, and this way we can say yes to giving opportunities if they come up. The next thing that we have is vacation. We're normally putting $400 into the vacation fund, but you'll see in our August budget report, I ended up putting less to vacation to fund a different expense, so stay tuned for that video. So I am doubling up this month because I didn't put into it last month. So $800 for vacation, which seems like a lot. We're really hoping to go to Hawaii in May. Fingers crossed. I would love to get to go on a vacation, but I also don't want to go somewhere if it's not going to be like the full experience. And Hawaii right now is doing a 14-day quarantine. Who knows how long that'll last for though, but I really don't want to go spend all this money going on vacation if I'm not going to get like the full experience. Maybe you guys can relate, or maybe you're just like, no, get me out of there. I need to go on vacation. So we'll see what happens, but that's ideally what we'd like to do. Next we have is Christmas. We're putting $50 a month into our Christmas fund, and that way when December rolls around, we'll have enough money saved up to cover all sorts of Christmas expenses for gifts and everything else that goes into Christmas. Next we have is car maintenance. We put $75 a month into our car maintenance fund to fund any sort of repairs that we may need to make with our cars. The great news is that since we aren't driving our cars, there's really not a lot to maintain there. Next we have is our down payment fund. So this is like the next thing that we are working on saving towards, where we plan to put every extra dollar, and it's a lot lower this month than it will be for future because I had to double up on like putting money into vacation, and you'll also see like house maintenance this month, but going forward, like this is where we plan to like put everything else that we can too. So we currently have a house. We've been here for a year, but where our house is located and the type of house it would actually make a really great rental. So ideally we'd love to be able to move into a different house and then keep this one as a rental and rent it out. So we are planning to save for a down payment on our next house. So who knows how long that'll be. My goal is maybe like 2 or 3 years, and we are still going to be investing. We've already maxed out our Roth IRAs for this year, and we are contributing at least up to the match that we need for our 401ks. And we're contributing to our son's college, but we aren't working on paying off our mortgage early. And maybe I can do a whole video on that of why we've decided not to do that, but we instead are deciding to save up for our next house. So hopefully 2 or 3 years, we'll see. And so $350.19 is going to that, and we actually are planning to invest this. I'm just trying to think through the exact way that we want to do that, but we do want it to be able to grow more than just sitting in our bank account, so trying to figure out where I want to put this money. But for right now, I'm just going to hold it in my bank account, earmark it, and then once I figure out where I want to put it to save for it more like long term for these next few years, then I'll make the transfer and I'll keep you guys posted. Next we have is house maintenance. So last month we ended up not putting into it again because there was an additional expense, which you guys have to see our August video to know what's up. But this month I had to double up on it, or not double up, but almost, because we put, I think normally $350 into it, but this month we're putting $600. Next we have is household. We put $100 into our household fund, and this covers things like toilet paper, paper towels, soap, detergent, like anything that we need for the household, like consumables is this fund. And then we have our baby fund. So this is all of the baby supplies that we need. So this is things like diapers, clothing, toys, anything like that comes out of the baby fund. I breastfeed, but if we need formula, then I'd put that here as well. So we put $100 a month into our little baby fund. And as a total, we are saving $2,325.19 this month. And our total out is the combination of the expense and the savings. And you can see here the difference is 0, which makes this a zero-based budget. And I know that our budget is now ready to go. So that is a look at our budget and our plan for the month of September. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you are looking forward to for the month of September and how your budget is looking. And give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll look forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye.